Hello and welcome or welcome back to Language, Culture, and Dr. Lou. And so today I'd like to reminisce on some slang from the late 20th century. And most of this is going to be Generation X slang, but we're covering stuff from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. So honestly, some of this was invented by baby boomers and then kept by Gen X, kept going. And I thought this video would be kind of fun because even though we're too old now to be cool, I think we totally did come up with some good slang in the late 20th century. And so why not reminisce about it? So what am I talking about? For instance, first we got a 90s reference, yada yada yada. It's a Seinfeld reference, and it's from when you're telling a story and you sort of skip over a part of it. Like, for instance, if you're saying, "Oh yeah, I was on a date on Friday night and we got along really well," and then yada yada yada. I ended up having to make him coffee the next morning. You skipped over a good part pretty much. But yeah, so that's yada yada yada. And also we have the expression to get the yada yada. It's the same thing. It's you're skipping over part of the story and just yada yada yada, moving on about it pretty much. And yeah, so thank you to Seinfeld for that. So definitely a 90s thing. And what else was widely used in the 90s and the 80s actually? Take a chill pill. And it just means, calm down, relax. And sadly, I do believe the chill pill was originally a reference to medication for ADD and ADHD. And because in the 80s and then the 90s, more and more kids got diagnosed with this. It seemed to be, the popular thing to diagnose a kid with, as far as, yeah, well, school counselors were concerned, as well as psychologists and psychiatrists and whatnot. So it just means relax, calm down. And to me, that's kind of odd because these are references to pills like Ritalin and Dexedrine. And if you don't have ADD or ADHD, they do anything but chill you out, right? They make you, they're really uppers. So to me, that's funny where it comes from. Take a chill pill. But if someone is needed in need of this to chill out, yeah, it might make them chill out, but only if you have that well diagnosis. But anyway, yeah, take a chill pill. That was originally a reference to ADD meds, but just means calm down, relax. And so what else came from back then? Oh, a shindig. Yeah. So what what was a shindig? This is a very lively, probably loud gathering or party, like the Cajun Country Shindig in the biggest picture here, or even right below my image, you have a New Year's Eve Shindig, and yeah, so lively, loud party or gathering. That was a shindig, and it's funny. I just watched an episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer from like 1998, where they were sort of explaining the difference the difference between a shindig and a hootenanny and stuff like that. But anyway, it's a loud party mostly, a really loud gathering. That's a shindig. And so I couldn't help but put a party mouth sort of reference in here too. And so we've got also bust a move. Definitely came was widely used in the 90s, of course. And so that's why one of these pictures here is some people doing the Macarena, right? Remember that? And also, of course, I got Kid and Play there from House Party, I think. They were known for the dancing as well. So this was just to dance, is to bust a move. That's to dance. And I do wonder if anybody ever says that anymore. I remember it being said a lot, but hey, like I said, we Generation Xers and baby boomers, we're all a little too old to be cool. So how would I know what people say these days, you know? And oh, snap. That you remember that from the 90s? Oh, snap. This was a really playful way of expressing surprise or disappointment. Like if your friend's telling you, "Oh, sorry, yeah, I'm grounded. I can't go out with you Friday night." Oh, snap. Your mom grounded you? That's too bad, right? uh And I also wonder if anybody says this one anymore, but still, I think it's fun. And yeah, it's a playful way to express surprise or that something's bad. And then hang loose. This is not uh not as like uh-oh or oh my as the last one, but hang loose, that's just telling somebody, oh yeah, stay cool about it, stay relaxed about it because you know it's not too important. Don't don't make a big deal out of it. Just hang loose, you know. And by the way, it looks like this is something because of the picture that just a surfer would say, but it's not restricted to only surfers. It was yeah, widely used in the last like 3 decades of the 20th century too. And have a cow. We probably everybody who grew up or was a teenager during The Simpsons, we all remember Bart Simpson back in the 80s saying, "Don't have a cow, man." Right? So to have a cow is to freak out about something. Like if you're a teenage driver and you get into a light accident in your car and you might tell your parents, "Oh, don't have a cow, man. It was no big deal. Don't freak out about it." And another good one is whack. This one also strikes me as very much a 90s thing. Oh, that's whack. Um, just means that's really bad. That is unwanted, not cool. That's why. And that's why the big advertising campaign against crack cocaine came out with crack is whack, which I like that one. It's rhymey and it really gets to the point if we start by understanding exactly what whack means, which means really, really bad. That sucks, is another way of saying that's whack. And so we've also got a knuckle sandwich. That is, if somebody gives you a knuckle sandwich, they've literally just punched you in the face, right? So this is a threat that you often get. And again, on The Simpsons, you had the bullies threatening knuckle sandwiches, but yeah, but they weren't the only people using it. But yeah, that was a knuckle sandwich, punch to the face, pretty much. Do you remember that one? I'm loving reminiscing on all these, remembering back when we did say these things, and wondering whether the kids even say this anymore. And an ankle biter. That was, well, originally a reference to a poorly behaved little dog or even little child. And so ankle biters, that's why ankle, way down by your ankles. But we often use this as a reference to a problem that's annoying to deal with. This one is an ankle biter. It's going to be tricky and annoying to deal with. Yeah, so it doesn't have to be a little doggy like you see here or a little kid. It can just be a problem that's annoying to deal with. That's an ankle biter. But I love the reference to a little nippy little dog. And so we've also got goober. Now, this is pretty much an insult. Well, not pretty much, it's definitely an insult. This is not a nice thing to call someone because it means they're naive and ignorant. They know nothing pretty much. Yeah. And so they're a goober. So I don't recommend calling anybody that. And I do wonder again, anybody says this anymore? And one thing I remember from the late 20th century was a lot of people ended up with the nickname of Goober. And that's not exactly the nicest thing to call anybody, is it? And so, cool beans. I like this one too. It's very folksy. This is a very folksy way to say something's good or just cool. That's cool. See, I never really understood as a kid why we added the beans part. Why didn't we not just say that's cool, but saying cool beans, that makes it a little more folksy. So I approve anyway. And in addition to cool beans, we had a lot of, well, more confrontational and less nice things to say, like whatever. And do you remember that one? Whatever, major loser, all those things. Remember spelling things with our hands to insult people. But anyway, whatever. That's just a very dismissive way to talk to somebody is saying, I don't care what you just said. I don't care what you're saying, whatever. And yeah, that's pretty confrontational and pretty dismissive. And it's similarly bad to talk to the hand, right? That's you don't want to hear what somebody's saying, so talk to the hand. And yeah, that's again really dismissive. And this reminds me of an expression in French, parle à mon cul, ma tête est malade, which means talk to my ass because the head is sick. So I kind of like the French way better. Talk to my ass. That sort of gets the point across a little bit more strongly, but still talk to the head itself. That's dismissive enough. So no need to go beyond that to be even ruder to somebody. And so, in addition to that, we got remember the Heathers from the 80s. And so I got a screenshot of Heathers here because after I hear someone say, "What's your damage?" I kind of automatically fill in the blank with Heather. What's your damage, Heather? And that's just a way, of course, that got to be big slang in the 80s. And it's just a way of saying, okay, how much are you going to make me pay for this? Metaphorically, like if somebody is just harping on you about something because they have a big problem with a certain thing, maybe something that you did or anything, you just say, "What's your damage?" As in, yeah, are you gonna keep rehashing this, keep making me pay for this over and over? So yeah, what's your damage, Heather? And that was, yeah, I really do like, but um not as much as this one, Made in the Shade. That's also I took an 80s movie screenshot from Ferris Bueller's Day Off because if somebody's got it made in the shade or somebody has it made in the shade, they are successful, yet relaxing and very eff- effortless, very effortlessly succeeding. And so they're cruising pretty much. They're all set to be successful without any much effort. So, yeah, so that's if they have it made in the shade or they've got it made in the shade, we're assuming they're successful and really relaxed because they got no need to really make a big effort to even keep their success going. So that's how you're made in the shade. And far out. I love this one. I had to put a picture of Tommy Chong here. This is older Tommy Chong, as in when he was playing Leo on that 70s show, not younger in the Cheech and Chong movies. But anyway, because whenever I hear the expression far out, which means excellent, pretty much. You're telling somebody that this is what they just said is something great. They're talking about something cool that you really like. So far out. And I always hear, yeah, Tommy Chong saying, far out, man. And it's not just hippies like him who would be saying that. But yeah, I'm pretty sure they invented it. But us Generation Xers kind of kept it going a little bit, or at least the stoners did anyway. And speaking of stoners, um, the next screenshot is Cheech and Chong, and that's because this expression can you dig it? It's all about saying, do you understand this and do you like it? Do you like and understand this? Means can you dig it? And of course, good answer is yeah, I can dig it. That's if you get it, if you really understand it. And to me, this one certainly was invented by baby boomers, but then a lot of the slang invented by baby boomers in the second half of the 20th century, anyway, did carry over into Gen X. So I like to include this all with here, but that is yeah. And again, can you dig it is not just for stoners, but you're likely to hear them saying that, especially you were in the late 20th century, and bread, using the term bread as in money, especially what we mean when we say bread, it's most often we're talking about cash on hand, like cash that somebody has on them. Like, do you got any bread, man? Like, do you have any cash so we can go buy something with it or whatever? But yeah, that was a term. And I do wonder whether Gen Z even really understands this bread means cash. I don't know. Like I said, Generation X are here, so getting a little old to know exactly what the kids think these days. And catch you on the flip side. I like this one. It means see you later, pretty much. And so we hear people saying catch you on the flip side, or maybe see you on the flip side. And by the way, another expression that came from these is catch you on the flippity dippity, or see you on the flippity dippity instead of flip side, flippity dippity. I think that's kind of adorable to flip it around like that. And yeah, and so I hope you did enjoy reminiscing over some of this late 20th century slang. And if you are a Generation Xer or a baby boomer, you probably remember all of these. If you're a millennial, you might even remember some of these too. But who knows what the kids these days are saying? Not me, that's for sure. And yeah, so anyway, and this brings us back to the original title of Gen X slang was the bomb. And that again, being used the bomb to mean something great or something cool is definitely a Gen X thing because yeah, because the baby boomers had a totally different impression of what we meant by the bomb because they were born in the years right after World War II, and there were not one but two bombs dropped that America dropped that made a big impression on world history and all that. And so yeah, so anyway, I hope you did enjoy these. Please do let me know in the comments if you want to hear more because I have dozens and dozens more. So if you do, let me know and yeah, I'll be happy to oblige. So yeah, I guess I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video. So until then, catch you around next time. Bye-bye.